I hope everybody's doing good. I can't complain. As you can probably see, eye surgery went pretty good Monday. Follow up was yesterday. Surgeon said everything looks good, so we'll see what happens. I do have a air bubble put in my eye. That's why I gotta wear this damn green band in case something was to happen. Sure, I can't be airlifted or anything because of the bubble. Trick is not to get in any trouble where you need to be airlifted, right? Probably shouldn't be driving from Arizona to like Denver, Colorado, the mile high city. Eyeball go poof. Or the air bubble go poof. But it's okay, and I don't plan on doing no scuba diving, so. And if I heard the surgeon right, the air bubble probably should be gone in about, according to him, 2 more days. But I'm still there. It's not as big as when he first put it in. I think it's getting smaller now. How quick it'll disappear, I have no idea. The gas bubble they put in the first time, before the oil, that was in 5 weeks. So if this only has to stay in 5 days or less, I'm happy. And from yesterday to today, it looks like I've gotten a little bit better sight, which you can take up to, 5-6 weeks before your sight settles down, as long as the retina stays attached, that is. So sight's starting to come back. I can deviate a couple colors. So I'm real happy with that. So here, next month, I'll be trying to, pour on how important it is to sign the petition, help me get this thing ready to get on the road and get on the road. So follow along. If you've never been on my YouTubes, because this year is the first year on the YouTubes. Facebook, ever since I started this mission 11 years ago, I've been on Facebook. And if you was to search my name out, 420 Jim and all, you can see stuff like this all the way since 2014. If nothing else, I get attention when I come to a new city, a new town. I do get attention. I'm good at that. Yeah, who's gay? I don't hold things against people that are gay or not, but I do make news across the nation. If fighting to get cannabis prisoners out of jail and cannabis out of a class 1 or class 2 narcotic, if that's gay to you, yeah, heck yeah, I'd be gay, No, it's the Lord's plant that should never have been taken away. Hi, how you doing? Hey, you know what? Every one of them dumb comments, not only does Jesus love you and blesses you, this guy, but it's a point in the algorithm. So go ahead, get your hate out on me. You don't know nothing like me. You're not the first troll I've had, my friend. I've been on here for 11 years on the internet. Like I say, just Google my name, okay? And here, little one that wants to, the one that wants to belittle me. Let me show you who you're trying to belittle here, okay? Okay? Just so you know, I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk. Check this out. Check this out, my friend. 420 Jim. I'll be damned. That's that guy's legal name. Yeah. So how gay is that, my friend? Pretty gay, huh? So call me what you want. I'm not a phony. I don't hide behind computers and keyboards. And I tell all my trolls, keep making your posts. Hey, would you subscribe too? Hit the subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing. But haters, heck, they'll pay to hate. But this is free. Please hit the subscribe button and follow me along, because this year, give me 1 minute and I'll show you my vehicle, okay? To give you an idea of what it looks like, well, in 2020, it looked like that. See the crosses and the leaves and stuff on it? Yeah, it looked like that in 2020, but hang on a minute. It had like 20, 30,000 signatures all over it and stuff, and this year, while I was waiting to get surgery, I repainted it, and I renamed it. Back in the day, that newspaper, it was called the Cannabis. Look that up on Google. Look up my name, 420 Jim, on Google. But most of all, while you go look me up, do the right thing. You'll see a thing that says petition pop up. It's this petition. Do the right thing. Click on it. Sign it. Nobody belongs in jail for pot. It's not a class 1 or a class 2. Let's change it, Trump. Can't we all just get a bong? And see these signatures? This is just on the door. That's just the signatures and stuff on the door. 420jim.com. You can sign the petition there. Here's the new paint job. Look at all this new area for people to tag this year. Because hopefully February, say before February 15th, I hope to be back on the road. My first stop will probably be a 420 event, maybe in Texas. You notice up there, everybody needs a little Jesus. How you like my crosses? Isn't it funny how these words play? How about the way that forms a cross? Alcohol kills. Isn't that cool how that L plays in that word? Look how cannabis plays the same way. And marijuana does too. M-A-R and H-E-A. You see what I see right there? Marijuana heals. Ah! Kind of cool, huh? No one belongs in jail for weed. And same as before, I put in every penny that I make to keep this on the road while I'm out there on the road. I make t-shirts and stuff. And everything that I make, if I stop and work for a week, a month, whatever, everything I make, I've always put into this to keep it on the road. And I let people tag it. A quarter, a nickel, a dime, a dollar, a hug, whatever. I let them tag it. See, Cannabago this year. So I don't have the startup I normally have. Normally after winter, I'll go off the road and work for a month or two and have $3,000 to hit the road. I didn't have the option this year to do that because of my eye surgery. So I got to depend on people making donations. Like a friend made the donation $20 and had me put that cross up there for him. I'll put just about anything somebody wants on here if they want to make a donation, and help her get on the road this year. Right now, the only thing that I'm really needing is a new generator because we got to have electricity while we're out on the road. Solar's way out of my reach. That's about $2,500. Because I've got some panels and stuff, but I'd need about $2,500 to finish the system. And I don't see that happening. So I'll have to try and get a generator. Other than that, a little oil change or something. And I can't see this to turn it back around. Other than, oil change, spark plugs, and wires and stuff, she's ready to go. She'll make it back across country again. I'm sure of that. Let me get back inside where I can. And I'm sorry I didn't see these comments. I had retina surgery on Monday, and I got a big bubble in that eye, so I have no vision in that eye. It's screwing with my other one. And out there in the sun, I couldn't read the comments or nothing. Movie-doo. So, I'll try and come in here and catch up a second. Whew. You subscribe to me, man. Thank you, Porter. Thank you, everybody. Hey, I wished I'd seen y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not the best, but hey, man, I love each and every one of you. I got the J. Charles glasses on. Thank you. They're dollar store specials. And one of my supporters a year ago come by where I was at doing the petition. And I had mentioned on a live like this on Facebook that I couldn't find none of my reading glasses no more or nothing. And a person brought me not one pair, but two pair. And this happens to be the last of the two pair. No? I don't know. Some of the language I don't know. Epic, but thank you. Thank you, Porter. Thank you. Well, like I say, did you see? Hang on, I'm going to turn the camera around. It's going to be blurry a second. Did you see my legal name? This is not false. In 2019, in Kingston, Tennessee, my first name used to be Jim. Now it's on top because it's my last name. I asked the judge, I said, Your Honor, can you make my first name my last name? And he says, well, I'm a probate judge, and if I prove it, sure I can. But you got to have a first name. And I said, how about 4? And he says, you want your first name to be 4? And I said, yes, sir. He said, would you like a middle name? And I said, how about 20? And he says, you want your middle name to be 20? And I'm like, yes, sir. And he says, your last name, Jim? I'm like, yes, sir. Without a blank, nothing. He picked up that gavel and clap, clap, so ordered. I think it was July 8th of 2019. It could have been June. It was either June or July. I think it was right there around 4th of July area, whatever. But yeah. Kingston, Tennessee, the clerk of courts, everybody was like, yee, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's worn off for me. We're talking 6 years, 5 years, well over 5 years ago. But it's still cool. I go up to cops all the time. Like, I've got a couple of trolls. And if you hang out or follow my Facebook or just, you'll hear about them. You'll have to. Anyhow, they'll send the sheriff by to do a welfare check and stuff like that. Anything they can to harass me. And sadly, use, the system. Take out from the time from these officers and stuff when they could be out doing real work. Could even take them, from saving someone's life or something. The cops have to come do this, So I understand the cops, and I don't hate them. I respect them and love them for the welfare checks and stuff. They're just doing their jobs. But I think they ought to keep a log of these calls from people that do that. And once, it shows up twice or 3 times, boy, they should go after them with the fullest extent of the law. But that's just what I think. I love you too, Porter. Goodbye. Thank you, Springman. Thank you. Thank you, Springman. I don't mean to be funny, but hey, if that's what it takes to get you to sign the petition, I mean, come on, do you think anybody belongs in jail for pot? Okay, if they have another charge, they had cocaine, a weapon, a robbery or something, okay, they got to serve that time out. But now, I mean, after all this money and all these, no one belongs in jail for weed. Nobody's getting our federal prisoners out. The states let the state prisoners out, like Colorado, Arizona and stuff, but not the federal. And when Joe Biden blowing smoke up everybody's ass, he only said simple possession. Simple possession is less than an ounce. And I don't know if there's anybody in federal prison for less than an ounce. So what did he really do on the federal level? But see, I at least, if nothing else, people say, what do you do? Do you think that would get your attention if I was on the front page of your newspaper? See, just because I didn't make it to, like, your particular town or something, I've still made it across country, 2, 3, 4 times now, back and forth. I held the first cannabis event ever done at Mount Rushmore. When Trump was first running against Obama, the Bikers for Trump had me come to his rally down there at the Suck Bang Blow Bar. I was there 10 days for a Trump rally for the Bikers. So, I mean, I've been on the road ever since then fighting for this. And I don't take it lightly. It needs to be done. This happens to be the town that Neil Armstrong, the one that admitted that the world is flat. Yeah, this is the town Neil Armstrong grew up in. I didn't know that until August 18th of 2020. The day before this newspaper they put me in is when I just stopped in the town because the name was cool. And I thought, well, I'll stop here, and talk to people, about the petition. So I called the head, and, hey, I'm going to do a petition in your town, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, no problem. So I pull up like anybody else in a parking space, put flags out, and tell people about my petition as they come by. And throughout the day, they'd say, hey, do you know Neil Armstrong grew up here? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. That's, to me, that's pretty cool. But I also didn't know one of the people that asked me if he could take a photo. This one, I mean, I know where the guy was standing and everything where he took this photo. Because one guy said, hey, man, do you mind if I take a photo? And I posed like that for him. No. And I remember him standing in like a ditch and all to get it. But he didn't do an interview with me. But he wrote up a really super nice story. And he had to get it off the internet because he knew a lot about me, my mom's death and everything. So this guy actually went, took that picture of me, went, did a search, wrote up a nice, and the next day, I didn't know if I was going to stay in that town or move on to the next town. But the lady at the CVS or whatever, like a Walgreens, I think it was CVS, she comes running out. Hey, you're in the newspaper. And she gave it to me. And I told her if she had another one, I'd autograph it for her. So, of course, she come out a few minutes later, and I autographed one for her and told her to tell all her friends, and I'd be there, one more day. And if they brought a newspaper, I'd autograph it. They'd be the only people in the world that have one, Some people like that, some don't, you know what I mean? But about halfway through that day, this older gentleman comes up and said, I had to come meet you. And I'm like, that's nice. I'm glad you did, how you doing? And he said, there's only been 3 people on the top half of that front page. And I'm like, no, sir, how would I know that? First time I've been in town. He said, one of them, Neil Armstrong. Yeah, he grew up here. Do you know that? And I'm like, no, sir, I didn't. But, I found out yesterday and all. And he said, then there's some damn fool that tried to rob the bank. And I really? And he said, didn't you? So, according to that old guy, I'm the third person that he's ever seen on the top half of the front page. Because out there, they do like a top and a bottom on their front page. It's kind of split up. So, I thought that was cool. And that's why I've always held on to this one. But, man, I've been in so many of these. But they turn yellow. You can't hold on to them. This one's only 5 years old. I've got them back. I had them back from 2014 when I first hit the road. And like you say there, Spring Man, never give up. Never give up. No, matter of fact, this year, because here's the thing. When I first started going out a little over 10 years ago, people picked on me about my cross. And it was just one green cross on each side of the motorhome. And why I adopted it at the time was all the dispensaries and stuff. That's all their sign, As soon as I've seen the first dispensary and all, it's like, oh, wow, green cross. Instead of the red cross, a green cross. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. So, of course, going up Utah, everywhere that I went, I've been all through the Bible Belt, from Utah to Georgia. You can't tell me I ain't been through the whole Bible Belt. I started getting picked on about my cross and marijuana, and just like after I met Ross Don Meeks, she told me about Jack Hara, and I read about him, so I'm studying the Bible on cannabis and hemp. The Emperor Wears No Clothes by Jack Hara. Right on, right on. Hey, I'm never going to give up, never going to give up. And I was studying in on the Bible so I could throw it back at these people, because how dare you use the cross at marijuana and this, that, and the other. And, my first verse I ever put on the cannabis about God was, Genesis 1:29, where he gave us every herb-bearing seed. He not only did that, he said that he saw it was good. So that, to me, that's a blessing. He not only made them for us, he blessed it for us. Now, yes, he gave it to us for food, not smoke. I've never said that he gave it to us to smoke. Okay? But it is a plant that is so nutritious, so good that everybody on earth should be eating that plant unless they have some sort of weird allergic to it. And there are a few people in the world like that. But if you don't heat it up, you just go to the plant and grab a bud off of it, and grab a bud off a plant without ever applying heat, you will not get high. But the medical is way up here. Once you apply heat and it reaches 250 degrees or more for over 5 minutes, you can actually burn off a lot of the THC. So you got to be careful when you go to cook it in the butters and stuff, or to cook with it, because you can actually cook out half or 3/4 of the THC that you're really wanting to use if you're trying to get the high from it. The big lie is they tell you went to jail for THC. When you get that first ticket and on the side of the road they do their drug test, they're lying to you. They're saying that it has THC. How do they know how much THC? That's why nowadays, like in Texas, where 0.3, or everywhere in the United States, 0.3 is legal. But them little side road tests, they will test for THC, period. But they're not testing for THC. They're testing for THCA. That's where the lie comes in. All them tests that the cops use on the side of the road and whatnot is testing for THCA. Because it's not THC until heat is applied. And of course, it's got some sort of pertaining to THC. So the worst of dirt weed will show up in one of them cop tests. But when they pay that $200, $300 per test, to go put you in court, like they've been a couple big cases that's been turned over because they took, like, a semi-full was, confiscated and all, and they proved in court once it come back from the lab that it was just hemp weed. So they still try and fool us on everything. Until heat is applied, it's THCA. And once heat is applied, it becomes THC. Just like what started this whole mission. I was charged with 2 counts of sales of marijuana. And I didn't do any time over that. They had me on audio and video. I was set up by a snitch and a cop. I didn't do no time. I happen to know that the state's got to prove all points of their case. And nobody in my life has proved to me that we're on a spinning ball. I can believe the earth's flat if I want. I don't care. People can believe what they want, but I study and read my Bible. Well, just because they tell me that there's a narcotic of marijuana, I argue so much that was the only point they had to prove. And I said, I won't fight that. I'll accept the 10 years. You prove to my jury what narcotic is in marijuana, and I will accept the 10 years. I won't ask for good time, none of that. Well, they can't. And you know why I know they can't? They found me incompetent to stand trial. It was easier for them to put things like I smoke marijuana so I don't kill people in the court paper. Cool. That's the truest statement ever wrote by a court of law. Nobody wants to smoke a joint and go kill no one, not even for a piece of pizza. They might love on them a bit, try and get a bite, but yeah. So, and if you ever get in a cannabis charge, marijuana charge, keep that in mind, man, that the government, or anything you get busted on, just remember, the state must prove all points of their case. I don't know of anybody that's challenged them to prove what narcotic is in marijuana. Maybe someone had some whatever. All I know is it worked for me. It worked for me because they didn't want to bring a chemist in and declare what narcotic was in it. Because I get to bring in a chemist that declares that's wrong, and no, there's not. One of them's right. Yeah, marijuana, back when I first started this 11 years ago, would be legal everywhere right now if we had took that to court and put them on the stand and had it declared. You know, yes, it's a drug. It's a drug. But aspirin's a drug. But this ain't a class 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I don't even think it's a class 5 narcotic. But it is a drug. You gotta be 18 above, you know, your kids can't go get it, whatever. It's still considered a drug. Coffee's a drug. Nicotine's a drug. Okay? But they're not narcotics. The only reason they called it a narcotic was so they could put it as a class 1 narcotic, hallucinogenic, no medical value, and that means it's super, super addictive and all. Good, just that. And a lot of people don't know that kept people from researching the plant. Because when they not only made it a class 1 narcotic, that's when good old Tricky Dick did this, Richard Nixon. It wasn't a big problem until then. He wanted a bunch of money to fight his war on drugs. And all these studies they're doing now, man, that happened back in the 70s. The government even had a program and gave a couple hundred people joints for life. And there's still a couple living now. You don't hear no more about that on the internet, but you used to over the last 10 years. I know because one of the people that was on that program rented a shed apartment that we had. And every month, he'd Jimmy, come here. And we'd tear the joints apart and roll 2 out of 1 because it was so big. But they made it a class 1 narcotic. They took out the patent. I'm probably screwing up the number, but it's got like 660537 or something like that. I know there's a couple of 6s, a 0, and a 537 in or something, but just go to Google. Who owns the medical patent on marijuana? And it's going to pop up the government. Now, how the hell, since 1970, has it been a class 1 narcotic, hallucinogenic, no medical value, alongside them holding a medical patent? Isn't that the biggest oxymoron that the government's ever pulled in our eyes? Yeah, it certainly is. And now we know with all these states selling and all the proof out there how good it is for medicine, how come it's not dropped? I'll tell you why it's not dropped. And Trump's our man to drop it. Trump says he likes our gun rights and stuff, and you know, I want everybody to get behind me, help me get out to D.C. this year and whatnot. Trump knows who I am, and I'm sure he knows my message and all. And, you know, it can't be a class 1 or a class 2. No way, no shape, no form. Yeah, Trump's going to do the right thing. Trump's going to do the right thing. But see, Biden and them, they all kept it as a class 1 before, like I said, so nobody could research it. They went to prison for violating patent laws and stuff. Then they thought, well, Big Pharma. No, they pretty much given Big Pharma the patent on it and all. You know, that's where that medical patent thing comes. What it is now, the only reason it is still a class 1 or 2 narcotic, think about it. Hunter Biden, his was a class 2 cocaine. Way, 1,000 times worse drug. Take it from a cokehead pothead. 1,000 times worse. But wasn't it a class 2 narcotic that he got in trouble with just signing a form federally? That's the only charge that they've actually stuck him with. So just imagine what they do with all the potheads tomorrow if they wanted to. I was worried the whole time Biden was in office. I thought for sure that's what he was going to do. I don't think Trump's going to do that at all. You know, I think Trump is for us, and you know, I like the things that he's doing now, and I don't think he'd do that. I think if I could talk to him and you know, hey, Mr. Trump, do you realize, you know, that these states will tell these people they can own a gun, but if we're out there and a game warden or somebody on federal land catches them, they violated federal law. You know, the Vietnam vet that showed up outside of the post office or the Veterans Affairs office in the parking lot happened to have a firearm or something in their vehicle, and for whatever reason get searched, and they associate marijuana and a firearm. Under federal law, no one can possess a firearm and or ammunition. And I ain't heard no one else. I mean, when I first started this out, you go look at the dates these prisoner projects and all this has popped up. You know, a lot of people's hopped on the marijuana train and everything, and this ain't to brag or nothing. But I started in 2014. Release all prisoners, destroy everybody's records, and make it federally legal everywhere. And we're finally catching on a little bit by little bit by little bit. But a lot of it, people wanted to do their own thing. Nobody wanted to join in together. You know, I've tried what I can do. And now, for 10 years, I've had a website. Anybody can go to 420jim.com, sign the new petition. See, every presidency, I got to start a new petition because it's a new Congress and all. So, yeah, I don't even think it's got 100 names on it right now. I just started last month. I've been off the road. So people aren't going, you know, blah, blah. The ones in the beginning at first sign, they're the backbone. They're the ones that make it strong. Once I get out on the road, that thing hits a couple thousand, so then the rest will come in. But I need everybody to help me build this up, because next month we'll probably be back out on the road with the Cannebago, headed to Washington, D.C. Here, I'll show it to you. It's on my door here. There's two ways that you can do my name. The newspaper normally does it 420JIM. 420JIM. Now, if you do the .com, that takes you to the website. If you go to Google and just put in 420Jim, oh, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of stories about me. Go past the first one. That's the petition. But please make sure you sign it. Also, I just put QRs on the new paint job. And it had 20,000 signatures at least. Well, look how many's on the door. And a lot of them are faded, you know, because it's over the years. It probably had more like 50,000 on it before I had to paint it. And here's the new paint job. I hope to be on the road no later than April 15th. I'm giving out these little miniature Jesus figurines as long as I have them to people, you know, come up. Everyone needs a little Jesus. Hey, Curly. My neighbor's dog. I mean, if you're serious, think about it. Nobody belongs in jail for weed no more. You know, I don't care if they had 10 ton and sold it to the Pope. If that's their only crime, all marijuana convictions should be erased from history, I think. And with my story and all, like I say, I'm pretty sure Mr. Trump knows about me. I really am, because it was his rally. And we're talking back in 2014 now, and in South Carolina, Magnetic Floor and all, you know, and the biker rally for Trump and Channel 13 News. I've got a video where their car parked right beside the original cannabis. It was the one that burnt. This is the replacement. And they like this. Make sure you don't get that on the news. I did make it in their little newspaper down there right before I left. But when they were out there with the news, Channel 13 News and all, oh yeah, they did their best to make sure they didn't show this and that. But, you know, with the people and the Trump campaign, they had to see me. Of course, my legal name wasn't 420 Jim back then. But, like I say, the last year Obama was in the White House, I did a march. I pulled a permit and had Pershing Park. And I had a march from Pershing Park to the memorial. And I did all that under religious rights. Now, I haven't been back there to pull a permit yet with my name of 420 Jim. And if people help me get back on the road and everything here in April, after my eye clears up, I will do that. I will file to do a march in Washington, D.C. And that permit would be filed under the legal name of 420 Jim. To me, I love it because I sued Walmart. I got tired of Walmart after dozens of different times of them screwing with me over different things. And finally, it was in Georgia a couple years ago, and I said, screw it. I'll take them to small claims court. They were their 3 employees. It was their lawyer, and it was me. And I walked out winning $2,500 plus court costs. So, people, just stand up for your rights. But it was funny as hell. I love the paperwork in court, 420 Jim versus Walmart. Just like these newspapers. If you look up in Kingston, Tennessee, it kind of looks like the motorhome. It's got a picture like this. Not exactly like that, but it uses the motorhome just like this. But up here, it had 3 words in the title. 3 words in the title on the front page. It said, "To be blunt." And I kicked Sergeant Woody's butt that day in court over traffic. And it had a picture like that on the front page of the Kingston, Tennessee newspaper. And it said, "To be blunt," big letters. My best one, my most favorite, was in Emporia, Kansas. And they put, "You can't spell healthcare without THC." That was my favorite one. They left out, "You can't spell pharmacy without harm," but they did put, "You can't spell healthcare without THC." So, hey, thank you for all the hearts and stuff. I'm sorry, this eye, I got a black dot down here that's an air bubble. I've got like tri-vision right now. This eye, I've got vision in, but it's a little blurry here and there because it's compensating for this one all year, I think. But this one, I've got a blurry vision kind of all the way around, except down here I've got a bubble about the size of your pinky here. And it's black, kind of. Depending on how you look, most of the time it looks black. But if you really look through it, it's just dark and you can see through it. But I'm seeing this vision, this outer coating vision that is light, and then this dark vision is dark. I'm telling you. Take care of your eyes, my friend. Take care of your eyes. Thank you, Edward. I am going to fight. 420gym.com. Huh. I'll have to go back to every once in a while. I mean, if you try it again tomorrow, as soon as I get off this, I'll call GoDaddy. Every once in a while, I'll see that. But if you try it again, but I've seen that problem before, so I don't doubt you. 404, they keep trying to make me buy a different certificate, but I pay GoDaddy direct every 3 months, direct. So if you want to wait till this evening or tomorrow, I know it'll go through, but sometimes if you try it a couple of times, it should. But it might tell you error 404, this site's not secure. Do you want to proceed? Yeah, and I don't know why, but GoDaddy, that happens every once in a while. And all it takes is a phone call. Hey, it happened again. And then so, I mean, it could be doing that. I haven't tried it today. I don't know. Did you try to go to Google and put in 420gym? Don't put .com. It's a good way to see if the website's working or not the way it should be, because it passes that server. If you go to 420JIM on Google, just like a search, no .com or nothing, the first thing that's going to pop up is about my website. And in the lower left-hand corner, I think it says petition. And you hit the button that says petition, nothing else. Don't go to the .com or anything. It should take you directly to change.org, even if that certificate's messed up. I can't promise that, but you might try that. And like I say, if nothing else, as soon as someone like you lets me know that it's screwed up, I go in and get it changed. So normally it don't, last more than 24 hours. That did not work? Okay. Yeah, I'll have to call them and get that certificate thing. It happens. It happens. Well, not ever so, it don't happen enough that it's really aggravating. And, I don't know, a couple of times ago, they actually gave me 3 months of free hosting because it happened, And then I say, it's no big deal. It's a phone call. That's why the world's going to end up destroying itself when AI takes over. Computers and stuff are only as smart as the person that programmed them. So the supercomputer or whatever, the most he can know is what, all these smart guys think they're the smartest know, but other than that, what would they know? Computers are only as smart as the programmer. But hey, I appreciate you pointing that out to me, because honestly, it'd probably stay like that a couple more days before I actually tried it. Every once in a while, I go to it to check and make sure, or I'll show someone on the phone, hey, or someone will say, hey, man, it's down. And I mentioned before, but I wouldn't give them credit. I don't think they're that smart. But I've got a couple trolls, But somehow, some way, it gets tripped as a security breach. And it's not. And all I got to do is point that out to GoDaddy. Hey, it's not a security breach. And then they reset it. We have figured out, though, huh, Lulu? Oh, come here, baby girl. What do you say, baby girl? Oh, you just resting today, huh? Little baby girl. She's my little baby girl, huh? This is Lilu, for any of the ones of y'all that don't know Lilu. She's my wild-haired terrier. Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll let you rest. She was a year old when I got her, and I've had her about 2 years, so she's about 3 years old. Now, Jack, he's going on 16 or 17. Sadly, he's not going to be around much longer. He's about a third of the weight he normally is, but he's still, hanging in there, not suffering, so I'm gonna try and make him as comfortable as I can, as long as I can. Well, let me get another little puff off of this. We'll do one more little walk around the RV, and I'll probably get out of here. But no flying and no scuba diving. I didn't plan on doing either one over the next month. I'm going to bring her out in a minute, Curly. He's watching for his girlfriend. Well, thank you everybody for joining in today. You can find me on Facebook. Look up my name, 420 Jim, but spell FourtwentyJim. Please subscribe to the YouTube. It don't cost you anything. It brings the algorithm up. Next couple months when I get on the road, you're going to love to see all the lives and stuff that I plan on doing across the country. Join me on Facebook at night. I do a 7 o'clock. It's 5 where I'm at now. So in 2 hours, I'll be on Facebook. And then again here tomorrow at 4:20. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Until then, it's all about peace, love, and cannabis for all. One team, one dream, united we stand, and if we try, we can all get along. My dogs Lulu and Jack love you. I love you, and Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.